And just like that, it's another new hour.
Yeah.
Woody, Greg,
Point.
Menace,
What's
Gina
up?
Grad.
Hi.
Phones open, 877-44-WOODY. You can send us a text. Check in over to 22987. Gina Grad, what's going on in the trending news headlines?
Well, yesterday was a busy day in the NFL. The Rams traded Jared Verse and 3 draft picks for the best pass rusher of his generation, Myles Garrett from the Cleveland Browns. The Rams are clearly in win mode now, as you can see. The Patriots are also traded a couple draft picks to the Eagles for wide receiver A.J. Brown. He'll be reunited with the former Titans coach and, serial cheater Mike Vrabel. And finally, the Giants re-signed wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr.
Garrett's got to be so pumped to get out of Cleveland.
Right?
I got to go to Cleveland for this radio thing,
Yeah.
industry thing. And it's like, man, of all the places, Cleveland, the mistake by the lake.
Yeah.
This is where you decide to hold it. Okay, so times are, money's tight and whatever. So they go somewhere that's like cheaper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can hold things in Cleveland way cheaper than you can in cool cities.
Like Miami.
sure.
Or like anywhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
I talked to
Cleveland.
some other radio friends are going, and they're like, there could have been so many other places.
Cleveland. Now, the
That are
organizers, I
affordable,
understand
yeah.
why they did it. They did it because it's affordable and it's central.
Right.
So people are coming from all different places. It's essential. They try to go to these central locations. Fine. But, dude, Cleveland,
Haven't they heard of Chicago?
I'd rather go to
Central?
Cincinnati
Yeah.
than Cleveland.
Yeah.
They've done it in Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago would have been great.
Yeah.
Chicago more expensive.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But if they've done it there before, why can't they do it there again?
Well, they
But,
want affordability.
Affordability. Myles Garrett, though, like he's got to be so happy. He is the winner.
Yeah.
He is the winner in all of it.
He won the whole thing.
Yep. Because he was trying to get out of Cleveland a couple seasons ago. Maybe, was it last year or the year before? It was like a kind of this big stink.
Yeah.
And he ended up hanging around. But he's getting to that point where it's like, man, you either got to win now or you're just never going to win. You're going to be a great player on a terrible team for
Now,
your
they're
entire
giving it up
career.
just for the picks? Is that like their play? Because why would they give up such a great player? It's just for the first round, second round, and third, right?
Well, if
For
you're
the
going to be
next 3
be
years?
building, right, and you
Yeah.
think you can do better in the draft going forward, you're trying to go for the future. He's an older player at this point.
Going
Yeah.
the long con.
Yeah.
I always wonder, like, being a super non-confrontational person, like, oh, I just can't wait to get out of this city. Like, your teammates know that, your coaches know
It's
that.
business.
I know, but it's so uncomfortable.
It's business.
Well, a Florida man who admitted to killing his girlfriend's 5-month-old daughter back in the 90s is scheduled to be executed tonight.
Okay, look, this is not the headline. That's not the headline right there. The headline is this is Florida's 8th
Yep. Just
execution
getting there.
this year.
Watch
This-
party.
Okay?
And
That's the headline here, folks. They are on a roll. Keep it going, Florida. Now, when we hear these stories all the time about people who abuse animals, they go, oh, this guy needs to be taken out, and blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden, people are for the death penalty. Guess what this guy did? He killed his girlfriend's baby. Threw it in the lake.
Yep.
All right,
In
so
the
are we
90s.
okay with this guy
Sure,
being
yeah.
executed? I thought so. So
Yeah, we're
8th,
good.
keep it going, Florida.
yeah, this is
On a
number
roll.
8. And there's another one scheduled for later this month. So that'll be lucky
Let's
number
go.
9.
I think they had a
So
record
many
last year of
watch
11.
parties.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they're already well on their way.
Great.
It's the first half of the year.
Did they take a break during Christmas or
We're,
something?
Maybe.
we're on pace for 16.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is all due to Governor DeSantis. He's really ramping up these death penalty cases. So we'll all look forward to that.
How about some efficiency? How many people are on death row? Do it all at the same time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just all tonight.
Yeah.
Right, like
you
an
mean
everything must
firing
go
squad
sale.
style?
Exactly. A blowout.
Yeah.
A liquidation sale.
Yeah. Take all the people that threw their girlfriend's babies into
Yeah.
lakes. Right. And then, the people that nobody will argue about.
Well, and also, he had a pretty good run. If this happened in the 90s.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It takes forever. But
Yeah.
it seems like they finally fixed the bottleneck.
Well, yeah, exactly, because DeSantis ain't playing around. And a new report from Fortune suggests that the AI boom might be a little more stoppable than we thought it was. Big companies like Microsoft are starting to pull back a little because AI is becoming very expensive to run without human workers. So Microsoft even said that last year it burned through its entire AI budget in 4 months. And NVIDIA's CEO has pointed out that computing costs are already way higher than regular labor costs. So whoopsies. So why is it so expensive? Well, it looks like the costs come from things like massive electricity use, expensive computer chips that you need like thousands of, training costs, staffing expenses for cloud services, cybersecurity storage. So I guess they didn't factor that in.
So they're arguing
They're just growing too fast.
Maybe that's it.
So they're arguing that the AI is costing more
Than people.
employing people.
Yeah.
Which if that's the case, great.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
Stave it off a little longer.
I don't see how that would be with how expensive it. Like I was talking to somebody, and it wasn't as simple as like, oh, they're going to make X number of dollars per hour, just as or whatever the salary is. It's what they're costing, obviously, for it's a head count thing. Which I'm like, head count. Then they had to go, well, that means they're over a certain number of hours, so therefore there's a cost for benefits.
Right.
For all these other things they had to pay, into.
Insurance and
there's all this other stuff. It's the salary plus all this other stuff, because people see it as like, oh, you got rid of a $30,000 employee. Well, it's 30,000 plus this plus all those things
Payroll
added
tax.
up. That's why they see it as more beneficial, even though these what you call lower salaried employees.
But they're saying even with that, right now,
That doesn't
that's still
seem
cheaper.
I think it's because there's
possible.
so much upfront cost in AI, right? It's like having to pay all of these people's salaries for the next 30 years upfront right now. In the long run, yes, it's cheaper.
Or you know what they do? It's like when you go to get an MRI, and to put somebody in an MRI machine for like 20 minutes, like the bill on that thing,
Oh,
they
I can
take
tell
like
you.
all the time that they spent developing it and building these things and testing them. They take all that cost and then they try to like recoup all that, obviously. But that was done.
$25,000.
Well, yeah, the machine alone is $1 million bucks, right?
Yeah, but that was done, and I'm sure those costs were recouped, whatever. But they left the prices still at we're trying to recoup our cost level.
Yeah.
And we're still paying that. The same way they go in my dad's favorite story when they built the Pennsylvania Turnpike. They told everybody that we're only going to charge a toll on it until we recoup the cost of the construction of it.
Sure, Jan.
And then now it's like you drive from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh, and you're paying like $60.
Yeah. Easily
in tolls.
But kind of like Sammy said, they didn't factor in all the, now we need cybersecurity and the storage is more than they thought, and these thousands of chips that cost tens of thousands of dollars.
Just to build a data center, and it's like
And the
they
data
need
centers.
people to sign up for the premium AI so they can counter those costs. But
Nobody's doing that.
No, not a lot of people are doing that. The percentage of it I heard is so low for the people signing up for premium. It's just like people that just want to make dumb like videos and stuff like that.
Dear ChatGPT.
Well, that's why they
Easy
shut
stuff.
down the AI, OpenAI. They shut down that video service because it costs way too much money, and they're not even making any money off of it. So
I would love for this to be true. Where it's cheaper to actually have a person
right now
than
than
the AI thing. I just don't see how I can't
like,
I
why
can't
would
make
the
the math
CEO of-
but then again I'm not a smart person.
Yeah, the
so.
CEO of NVIDIA, who makes the
Right.
chips, is saying whoopsie. So we'll see if they can course correct that. And Serena Williams hasn't played professional tennis since 2022, but the Queen of Tennis is back, everybody. She'll be playing at the HSBC Championship starting on June 8th through June 14th at the Queen's Club in West Kensington.
Ew.
See, I know. Serena Williams has won 73 career singles titles, which is the most
That's
in
really
tennis
neat.
history. Yeah, you're into tennis.
I heard you say how you say it correctly. Wimbledon.
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 Yeah, I got
D-O-N.
corrected.
Wimbledon.
It's it's DON.
Like downtown.
Okay, hold on. Say
Wimbledon.
it correctly again.
Wimbledon.
Wimbledon.
Mhm.
Okay, I got it because I got corrected.
There it is.
Wimbledon. I always thought it was Wimbledon.
People say that.
Yeah, most people
Yeah.
do. Wimbledon.
Okay.
Wimbledon. And finally, you might think you're having a bad day, but check out what happened to this family in New York. So they were at a funeral home, of course, mourning the loss of somebody, their dad, when they found a little surprise in the coffin. There was a body in there, but instead of it being their dad, it was some random stranger. The family knew it was someone different right away because their dad was only 5'3", and this person in the coffin was way taller than that. They told the funeral home, but the home fought back and insisted for hours that the person was their dad, like they
What?
would know. Yeah.
No, they look different when they're dead.
Here's the
grow.
man's son talking about what happened on the local news.
When we opened the coffin, we found another man, and they were trying like for hours, trying to convince us that he was our father. They say that they found like in the same week another person with a similar name. We don't know where's our father is at right now. They say that they cremated him, but we are not sure.
Yeah, why
Oh
would
my God, they
why would
lost
they
the
believe it?
dad?
Yeah. So they don't know who's in that urn that they were given.
Oh
There
my
seems
God.
to be so many stories. Like, are funeral homes run by carnies? It seems like there's a lot of stories.
A lot of mix-ups.
Yeah. Like, I don't know how many funeral homes per, like whatever square mile there are
Yeah.
in the country. Like how many there are for how many people. What's the ratio of funeral
That's a
homes
good
to people?
question.
I would imagine that there's a ton because there wouldn't be enough business to keep everybody in business.
Yeah, competing funeral homes.
Yeah, like I mean, there are maybe like a couple
Right.
in each town, but like it's not like there's a
not
thousand different
Starbucks,
restaurants,
yeah.
Starbucks and things like that. But the number of stories that you hear about stuff like this,
Yes, or they tell you it's the ashes of dad, but it's really just a group.
Yeah.
right?
They
You know,
tend to
cremation.
be dicks too.
Yeah, there seems to be like
Yeah.
this is where shady people. That's the kind of business that shady people get into.
Yeah, I could see that. Although if I
'Cause who's
was
watching them, you know?
Well, that's the thing.
Exactly. And what do you know? Like
Yeah.
you don't like.
Well, you
it's
don't
not
know
you deal with
anything.
this on a regular basis.
No.
He also like had stories of them like keeping body parts in like
yeah,
the basement
And
stuff.
Yeah.
selling body parts.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But like if you have a bunch of people and they're all in, drawers, like I could see myself being like, "Oh my god, I mixed them up." Like I get that it could be a little
Yeah, you don't know.
confusing.
That's why they check
Oh,
the
no.
toe tags multiple times.
Yeah, that's what the toe tags are for.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard stories about, they'll charge the family for whatever the coffin is, right? Because
Yeah.
they go for the whatever one that's got the whatever ceiling. Like any of that matters. You're putting the body into the ground, and but it's silly. There was remember that show? It was called Bullish.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Penn
Yeah.
and
Love it.
Teller, and they did a whole thing about the funeral industry, and it was really,
Oh, I want to see that.
Eye opening.
bothersome.
Bothersome,
Yeah,
upsetting.
just because of the way that they will take advantage of people in
It's
that
true.
moment. Because like in that moment, like it's how Greg, when his dog was sick,
Yeah.
and he spent all that money, they get you in that moment,
Thousands of
Yep.
dollars.
knowing that there's no real upside
Yeah.
here.
Nope.
Yeah.
But it's giving this person one last little morsel of hope with something that they really love and care about, and so they'll spend like just this crazy amount of money. It's like
Yeah, you'll
when
deal with it in the future.
it's like the scammers with the old people saying
Yep.
that your granddaughter's been abducted.
Yeah.
yeah.
You
And
know, and
you're-
they get them in that moment. They're willing to do whatever.
You're absolutely right, because when I was fostering that senior, I ended up spending $4,000 in like 4 months and kept going back to the same animal hospital. And the very last time, the woman was like, "Hasn't anyone suggested to you putting this dog down?" And I said, "No." And she was like, she
Yeah,
couldn't
because-
believe it.
Yeah, they can
Because
get
they
you
just
for the all
kept
the
ringing
yeah.
my credit card.
Right.
Yeah.
So I remember hearing a story somewhat recently about this one funeral home. They would upcharge people for these crazy nice, caskets. They would have it out there for when they had the actual funeral. And then once everybody was gone or whatever, they just put the person into like a basic ass box.
Oh, hell no.
And then into the ground, and like so, they like the family paid for it.
Yeah, yeah.
The family paid for it, but that's not what their loved one was.
But
Was
don't
buried.
you watch
So
them lower it into the ground?
Some of them,
Yeah.
but like
And they
but the ones
dig
where it's
them up
like,
at
oh,
night?
we're not, nobody's going, or they don't have a lot
Then
of
they just
family.
change
It's
it.
just
oh
like maybe
my
like
God.
So creepy.
maybe one
yeah.
nephew shows up because it's the only uncle and like
Right.
the only nephew, like very small, like Greg. Like Greg's
Damn.
like a tiny ass. It's just Greg and his mom and dad at this
Yeah.
point.
That's it. Right.
Yeah.
So,
Well-
yeah.
So who's
nobody-
gonna know?
Nobody will know.
That's why you got to stick with the Jews, man. Pine box. Don't
Yeah.
get crazy.
And quick,
Yeah, and quick.
Super
and quick, and you
quick.
know
72
they'll get a
hours.
deal.
That's right.
Right, Gina?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I've given that far too much thought when it comes to that. Like, what if you can't make it to the funeral? Do you still do it anyway?
That's a good question.
I guess you do.
Yeah, just for who? For the birds?
I guess.
Okay. Well, that's what's going on, Woody.
All right. Well, we're gonna take a quick break. We got some more Woody Show for you next. Hang on.
The Woody Show, back in a bit.